ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit.
They look like smell my finger hands. They could be. No. Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Marvel Legends Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure Waves Death Dealer. Try to get your Marvel Legends? You can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And while you're down there, I ask you to please hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as a notification bell, and let's get into why I give a shart about Death Dealer. So why do I give a shart about Death Dealer? I really don't know that much about Death Dealer, but I did look up some images, and this looks very comic accurate, and that interests me very much. So I'm very curious to see what he does in this Shang-Chi movie. And I want to give a big thanks to Justine and Xmanny87 for helping make this review possible. If you're trying to pick up some badass dios, you can do so over at the shop Xmanny87, link in the description below. Nice packaging over here as we're used to seeing. You get Death Dealer on the side. On the back, you can see Death Dealer again. There's a read up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. There's the other figures from the wave. Then we get Death Dealer again, and then we get the spot varnished logo on the top right over here. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Death Dealer out of the packaging. Not looking so bad so far. We'll talk about the things that I like and the things that I don't like, but first let's get a closer look at the accessories. So aside from the Build-A-Figure piece, these are all the accessories that we get with Death Dealer, and again, no fisted hands with this figure. What the Fu Manchu Hasbro? Come on with the fisted hands, both with the Shang-Chi and now the Death Dealer. Nope. I don't get it, why no fisted hands. But anyway, these wide open hands look pretty cool. They're good for running and stuff, so I do like the silver paint on them and everything. And then you get these hands, which are pretty cool to have him holding the daggers and everything. Nice detail right over there. It does not come out or anything. And then you get this one with the clear swooshing effect and everything, so that's pretty neat. Bends a little bit. I wanted to bring out the Endgame Hawkeye hand over here with a similar effect, so looks pretty neat. Again, I kind of feel like I wish it was coming out to the side just a little bit. I don't know, but still, these daggers look pretty neat. It would have been nice if he had like loose daggers and he could hold them in a hand, but this is still cool too. Oh, another cool accessory would have been fisted hands. I'm sorry, no fisted hands. So I didn't find a whole ton of images of Death Dealer on the old Google machine, but I did find that his real name is Lee Ching Lin, and he was part of the M16 British Secret Intelligence Service, and he was just too brutal for that. And then Shang-Chi and I think some other members were supposed to rein him in, and yeah, he's basically Fu Manchu's muscle. And as far as Death Dealer's role in this movie, I'm suspecting that he trains Shang-Chi, and then in adulthood, Shang-Chi realizes that Death Dealer is evil and becomes his enemy, right? Isn't that what's going to happen? And he looks very similar to the designs that we see in the comics, so I think that's pretty neat. But what I don't think is neat is the lack of eye paint right there. I do like the texturing, and I do like the ponytail. The hair looks really good right over there. So there's a lot of new added sculpted stuff over here. I've had a couple people ask me what I think about the reuse of the Ant-Man body underneath here. I don't know why people weren't asking me about the lack of fists with this figure, because that's definitely more of a concern for me than that. That part of the figure doesn't really bother me so much, but I will mention gripes. This slipover section looks awesome. I love the sculpt of it. I like the paint added to it. It's mostly very clean. Obviously not perfect. I did not notice this at first look, but you could see the 10 rings right here, right? Isn't that the symbol of the 10 rings? No. He works for Wenwu in the movie, right? I like the touch of silver underneath right there. And then the arms look great. A little inconsistent with the silver right here. As you can see, these red bands look pretty cool. I do like the added detail of adding the knives right there on the back, so that's pretty cool. I don't like how long the arms are. I feel like they're a little too long. The texturing and everything from the Ant-Man suit doesn't really bother me right over here. Again, I haven't seen the movie yet, so who knows? I may feel different about that after I see the movie, but I like the added Ditko? I like the added deco right over here. That looks really cool. And just to see how this looks underneath, I like that they've added the red paint in there. Ooh, you can see that kind of stripping away a little bit just because I did have him posed. You'll see that at the end of the video, but it does look pretty neat. There's the real Death Dealer underneath there, or this side could be the Death Dealer. I don't know, whatever you want it to be, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, there are the shins, and there are the feet, or Ant-Man feet again, and then peg holes right there. So you see what I'm saying with the arms, right? A little on the long side. Now the articulation isn't too bad with this figure. You can get him to look up very far. You just want to make sure that the back of the head is over the collar, and you could look all the way up. You do get a ball jointed hinge. It does shift forward and back like a pile driver, and shift all the way down. You get side to side motion and some decent head pivoting. You do get a little bit of a butterfly joint right over here, so you can see it shifting forward and back only a tiny bit, and up and down some, but you do get a solid shoulder joint that moves outward all the way up, and you can move it all the way down. Rotates a full 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, looking pretty good right there, and then all of the hands turn side to side and hinge up and down. The torso articulation is tricky to work with, without a doubt. I just like to grab the legs and turn them side to side to utilize that waist joint. As far as any crunching goes, I mean, without just bending the legs forward and trying to make it look like it's an ab crunch. And thanks again to these cuts on each side right here, you can move the legs outward that far, and you could kind of get things moving forward, I guess. If you want to bend them forward at the hips like that, you could bend forward at the hips that far. It's basically just the legs moving forward and back a tiny bit. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, ankles move down. They do move up, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. It's actually not the most beautiful ankle pivot. I got to take that back. It is very clickety and ratchety and makes it kind of tricky to get that exact pose that you want. However, saying all that, I was still able to get him standing on one foot, but not on the rotating base. Now to measure out this Death Dealer figure, you can see that it is standing a bit over the 6.5 inch mark. That's mostly just due to the ponytail. And then here's Death Dealer next to the only other two Shang-Chi movie figures that I have so far. We have the Target exclusive, yay Katie, and then we have Shang-Chi right over here. Kind of funny that the original comics were called the Hands of Shang-Chi, but like, you know, so far with these two figures, they're kind of dropping the ball with the hands of the Shang-Chi movie figures. I mean, come on, where's the fetched hand you got? And then here's Death Dealer next to our comic version of Shang-Chi. And then here's Death Dealer next to the Ant-Man figure. A lot of these parts were reused from. I am noticing that this Ant-Man figure has a fist hand on the right side, so I want to see if I can swap that on. All right, yeah, sweet. Okay, so you can give him a fisted hand. At least that's cool, right? But yeah, the whole thing with the body being reused at this point in time, I haven't seen the movie yet. It doesn't really bother me. And then here's Death Dealer next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Whoa, I was hoping you'd be in the movie, but not all in disguise like this. Let's make a deal. Who can grow the biggest beard and keep it under a mask? So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And a big extra thank you to all these people over here that support this content via the Tronin membership. If you're in a position to do so and you want to support, check it out, link down below. And just to warn you guys, I may be dipping out of reviewing this wave and may review other stuff at random, so if that happens, don't be shocked by it or anything. I will come back to this wave. Death Dealer over here is actually a pretty cool figure. I know I have a paint defect with the face, and I have the problem, of course, I've mentioned several times already, the thing with the fists, alright, last time, but yeah, I still think this is a cool looking figure. I'd like to see more of what happens in the movie, so there's always that whole feeling of like, oh, I could think this is badass right now, but it won't really matter until after I see the movie, so gotta wait for that. But just as it is right over here, it's really not that bad of a figure. It looks pretty cool. The whole reused parts thing with Ant-Man doesn't bother me, and he does come with accessories. I just wish he came with more stuff, especially, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, around the price point of around 25 bucks, I'm gonna give this Death Dealer figure a Sud rating of...
It's not too bad.
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Like, for real, I really do want to know what you think, so really, I mean, I always do, but right now, especially because of this figure, I want to know. So leave a comment down below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me via social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.
Crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.